right, welcome. First episode of tutorial. Last time I tried to do this, my computer was not cooperating with me, so we're ready. It almost gave me a little trouble today, but today we're just going to cover real quick a very simple, effective tutorial on dry brushing. Also highlighting with dry brushing, so I'm going to kind of throw two things in there. But you know what you can do, how to do it, and so forth, and kind of go through a little bit on when you maybe when you should, when you shouldn't. It is a great technique used. It's widely used. It's easy to master. Now there are ways that you can use it to enhance the look of your miniatures, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm just going to show you guys the basics. So what I've got is I've got 3 Army men. 2 of them are primed and the other one I haven't. So these are Army men, plastic Army men. And this is some of the stuff you can do when you're practicing techniques is you can get a bag of plastic Army men and you can practice techniques for yourself. And this is a good way for you to practice dry brushing, edge highlighting, although there's not much edges on these, but you can, like here, practice here and so forth, around the edges and so forth. Layering, all these other things you can practice on this, and these don't cost you hardly anything. I've got a bag of them over here with next to nothing. I think they were like $8 for a bag of them, and I got 100 of them. So anyway, gonna get right to it now. So first off, I'm gonna go right to green. This is Strachan green. You can literally dry brush with any paint. Now, I'm hesitant to use metallic paints in a dry brush, although there is a metallic dry paint. I'm not going to go into that today. That is called Necron Compound. There's also another one called it's Abalone Pigment. That's kind of a metallic, but it's not dry. It's just pigment. But this is a green, Strachan green. We're going to dry brush with that, and we're going to get started. So, and I'm going to use just this frayed brush. It's not really frayed, it's a real cheap brush, but it's nice and large and so forth. So here we go. I'll shake the paint. When you do dry brushing, you do not need to mix your paint with water. You don't. It's unnecessary. I mean, you can if you want to. I mean, like if you're going to use it elsewhere, like in the same sequence while you're painting, but I don't. I don't thin it. There's no need to. I'm trying to get the most paint I can. Now you can do it to stretch the paint. I'm just not doing it. So I'm going right from the pot. Go ahead and get the excess off because you're going to be pulling off. Now, get you a little paper towel. And then, very simple, you start brushing across the edges. That's it. We're going to work this and you'll start seeing the green come out. Okay? Very simple. What it's doing is that paint is coming off the brush and it is grabbing the edges here, okay, on the little figure. Now you can see a little green on him now. So I'm going to put a little more on the brush. Again, get the excess off. You can see it just kind of just grabs. And the strokes that I'm using are just quick. You can use controlled strokes like this for like small areas, or you can use big strokes like this. It's your call. It depends on what you're working on. So dry brushing is great. It's quick. Some people call it a beginner skill. I think they call it that because it's so simple. But then again, you know, there's a lot of things in painting miniatures that are simple that they're not considered beginner. But when you do them right, they look great. Well, dry brushing is one of them. Dry brushing is, there's really only one way to mess it up, and that is when you have too much paint on the brush. And that's when there's a problem. because all you're doing is just slopping the paint on. You don't want to do that. Okay, so now I've done the dry brushing all over on him, and you can see the green all over him now. It's really brought the details out. Now, moving on. Go ahead and moving to a different color. I'm going to use on this one, it's completely black. We're going to start off with Mephiston red, okay, on this miniature, or Army Man. And we're going to highlight. Is this the right color? I'm going to go Wild Rider Red. It's a lot brighter. Well, yeah, Wild Rider Red. Okay. So we're going to dry brush first with Mephiston red. Then we're going to highlight with a dry brush Wild Rider red. Okay. So start off with that. Oh, shake the paint. Dry brushing can be your go-to for all your miniature painting. It's great for highlights, for any color. Any color. Okay, so I'm just putting the paint on and wipe it off. Okay, now we're getting the excess off. Okay, ready to roll. And done. Here we go. Just putting the red on. See how that looks? You can see the red just jumping on there. This is how you practice your skills in painting with the green Army Man. Now, they're black because I primed them. I may have said that in the beginning of the video. So. Okay? Now we're going to do a heavy dry brush on this because I want to show you the highlighting you can do with this. So. Okay, do a little more. Now, I know there are a lot of tutorials out there on this. I'm probably one of the few now to do this technique. It's okay. I really like the way this comes out. It's really nice. It is a little, I don't want to use the word messy, but it's not as controlled. You can control it, but it's got a sense of, yeah, it doesn't hold down a lot of structure. Okay, so there we go. We got the Mephiston red on there. Now we're going to do highlighting with dry brushing. This is a lighter color red, and what we want to do is we want to only hit the high areas with this lighter color. So we're going to hit here, here, a little bit on the arm, a little bit on the knees, and then we're also going to do the back, and that's it. Okay? So that's how we're going to do it. All right, so we're going to Wild Rider Red. Okay, this is highlighting with by dry brushing. Okay. Again, you're wiping the paint off. Okay. Highlighting with dry brushing. Very easy. That's that. There's that. Okay. So there's that. And get the back. Only the high areas is what we're going to worry about. The areas that are going to be seen get more direct light. Okay? We'll go ahead and get his butt just a little bit because it sticks out. Okay. So now, there it is. So now we have, it's highlighted. You maybe not be able to tell too much. Maybe I'll do some other, maybe a lighter red here in a second. Why don't we try that? Let's do a little bit lighter red. We're going to try to do this right now. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this red. And this brush I'm saving for the last part. We're going to do the white. And I'm going to show you what I got for the white. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more Wild Rider red. I'm going to go ahead and mix some right here on this. I want to go really bright red, bright pink. Excuse me, just 8. Where's my white? There you go. And you'll see how this comes out. Oh, this is Corax white. That doesn't ever come out white, right? Just give me a second. I'm doing this live right now. All right, there we go. It's kind of it's not really bright. Give me a second. All right, I'm going to mix White Scar. There we go. That will work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some paint. Now what we're going to do is just some light. Okay, there's that. Now you should be able to see the intensity of the highlighting. So there you go. So it's highlighted with dry brushing. Pretty good. Simple. Okay. All right, for the last part. And that will be it for our first episode of Tutorial Tuesday. So I brought up using this brush, which I'm cleaning off right now. Fine, it's okay to use this. It's okay. Nothing wrong with this. However, we're going to use now, it's considered a makeup brush. Now, you can get them in different styles. I have a couple over here. I've got some that are even smaller, like this. I've got even larger ones like this. Oops. And, but what I do is, I use these either with the regular liquid paint, or I'm going to use it with a dry paint. Now, this is called Praxeti White. This is a dry paint. Now, you don't shake it. It's dry. There's no liquid in there really at all. It is moist, but it is dry for all intents and purposes. It's useful. So all I do is I just dab it in there, and I get a little bit on there like that. Okay. Dry paint. Citadel makes a couple of versions of the dry paint that you can grab, but they're really good. You still have to get it off of there. And I use the makeup brush, and I just start going like this. So, and it does the same thing, except it actually lets you use less paint. The dry paint does. Now, I've had this bottle of Praxeti White for a while. It's getting low, I'm probably going to go out and buy some more soon. But for now, it's held me over for quite some time. So, but as you see, it performs just like the liquid paint, which I have to dry out. This one is already ready. Already ready. Ready. And I chose white because it would show up faster. And it'd be a much more intense look to it. So, but that's it for dry brushing. Pretty simple. You guys got any questions or anything, please let me know. Comment down below, let me know. Any suggestions for other tutorials you'd like to see? Now I'm talking beginner to intermediate level. So I'm also going to do tutorials on other things such as one of those thinking of doing is how to paint white, how to paint yellow, things of that nature. So, yeah, this red one looks pretty cool. I like the way that came out just by dry brushing. It's pretty awesome. And then this green one came out pretty cool too. And it's just dry brushing one color and adds a level of color, intensity, and shade. I like that. It's pretty nice. So, and then of course using the dry paint. So, but I'd like to hear from you guys if you got any suggestions on types of tutorials maybe that you would like to see. I'm going to try to do these every Tuesday. You can follow me on Facebook as well as YouTube and Twitch under the name Minis by Meyer. Appreciate any support you can give. Much appreciated. But again, this is David Meyer. I'm signing off for my first episode of Tutorial Tuesday. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself and happy painting. Remember, a painted mini is a